Welcome guys to my third podcast. Okay, the first one was a pilot podcast where I don't even remember what I talk about, what I talked about. The last one, my second, was about Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, more specifically Rio de Janeiro, and all the problems we have here. And a little bit about Brazil as a country, like holidays, etc. So yeah, the last one was about that, and now the third one. Yeah, no, actually, I don't remember the last one. Anyway, but this one, which I think is the third one, is going to be about cars, driving, everything related to that. Everything related to cars and driving. First cars, all the like, not pieces, all the parts, like everything related to cars. Like windshield, road tires, whatever. So, as you guys know, sorry, as you guys know, there are two types of cars: manual cars and automatic cars. I think I'm gonna be explaining how like automatic cars work first, because it's easier, like how to drive a automatic car. It's very easier. It has less parts, less like commands. It's just easier to drive a automatic car. And I'm not talking about like Teslas, which they drive by themselves. I'm talking about like automatic cars, like regular automatic cars, like Corollas, etc. So I think the mainly difference between a manual and a automatic car is that automatic cars has no, I think, clutch, like the clutch pedal. Like there's no clutch pedal on the automatic car. Yeah, I got it right. There's no clutch pedal in a automatic car. The only two pedals are the on the left, the brakes, and on the right, the gas pedal. Okay. And another difference is that on a manual cars, there's like the shifter. I think that's how it's called. So it's not. I don't even remember what I said, but it's called gear shift. I mean, both cars has like gear shifts. I think shifts. Anyway, but the manual car, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some cars has I think 6. I don't know if there are cars with 7 or more. I think there are. I don't know. But yeah, basically it's from ranging from 1 to 5, and the R, which means reverse. If like in case you want to reverse your car, and but the automatic cars, I mean, they have also gear shift, but it's different. Like you mainly use like the G. You just put like the gear shift. You just shift to D to drive. It means drive, and you just hit pedal and hit brakes. Hit pedal, hit brakes. And there's also the R. I mean, to shift to G to R or whatever, you gotta hit the brakes. Because on the manual car, you had to hit the clutch pedal and then change, like shift and then shift, and then you let it go like the clutch pedal. But on a automatic car, you just hit the brakes. Like the brakes serves as a kind of like clutch pedal, and you just shift. You change to G to R or whatever, and other ones. So yeah, I think that's basically like the mainly difference. Like another thing, I personally like prefer automatic cars because they are so much easier than manual cars, because like it it's impossible to make a automatic car die. I don't think that's the expression. It's not die, it's stall. So like it's like there's no automatic cars do not stall, which is something that happens when you're driving a manual car. If you like if the car is like not stopped, like if the car is like stationary and you like want to drive it, if you want to like make it like go a little bit, like I said, you gotta hit the clutch pedal, shift to 1, and like let it go of the clutch pedal like very smoothly. You cannot let it go like fast, because the car is gonna stall. You gotta let it go very, very like not fast. What is the opposite of fast? I keep forgetting. Very slowly. Like you hit like to the end the clutch pedal, and then you like that you begin to let it go very, very slowly, and to make it like the car go faster, like to like kind of like accelerate the process of making the car move, like while you like letting go of the clutch pedal, you can hit the gas pedal, kind of like at the same level. It's gonna make the car drive, not drive faster. Like you're gonna get out of this stationary state like faster, So yeah, but if you fuck up a little bit, like while you're letting go of the clutch pedal, like if you let it go like too fast, like the car is gonna stall, which sucks. I hate when this happens. With me, I don't care if other people let the car stall, but it's awful. I hate it, especially when I'm driving on the road or whatever I am in traffic, and this happens. I hate it. But this doesn't happen with automatic cars. The automatic car shift. So yeah, automatic cars like shifts gears by itself. So you're not gonna let the car stall. And of course you don't have to worry about like shifting all the time, which is another thing that I hate about like manual cars. Like you cannot drive like peacefully. You always you gotta be careful like with the gears. So yeah, that's why I prefer automatic cars. So another thing, like inside the car, like I don't know, I'm just gonna like name all the words I know about cars, and others I think I know. Well, like there's like the windows, like old cars, like I think old school cars, like from the, I don't know, 80s or whatever. I don't know. I think it's different between countries. Like you can have cars from whatever 2010, and like they're not gonna be like electric. Like the system, like the windows are not gonna be automatic, even if the car is like from 2010. I think this happens in Brazil. I don't know about in America or Europe. But there's like the windows, and if you wanna close the window, so you can like lower the car window, using the buttons, or spinning a crank. You know, I usually like joke around saying that if you have a car that you can lower your windows by just like hitting buttons. I'm sorry. By just like hitting buttons, you have a really nice car. Because so many cars here, you have to turn this crank, and some cars it's like the passenger seat and the driver's seat, like there's buttons, but like the seats, like the other seats, below, not below, behind those, you have to turn this crank. But if you have a car with all the windows, like if you can lower all the windows using buttons, you have a really nice car, for sure. That's what happens here in Brazil, or I think Rio de Janeiro more specifically. Anyway, so yeah, you can lower the windows, doing that with those two options. And there are, I think, three mirrors. Like there is the mirror like in the middle of the car, which helps you like look at the people behind you and all the cars behind you, like right behind you. And there are those other two mirrors, which I forgot the name of the three of them. So yeah, so those three mirrors, which I kind of like forgot the name of them, like how are they called? So like the mirror in the middle, it's called a rear view mirror. Like I said, which helps look at the cars right behind you, and someone like sitting behind you, like your children, your family, or whatever, like what they're doing. A fun fact for listeners who doesn't know about physics at all, like if you are like in the, whatever, if you are the driver or you are on the like behind the passenger or the passenger seat, if you are like behind on the behind seats, if you can see the driver, like the driver's eyes on this rear view mirror, like he can see you, or vice versa, So this is a like law of this category studied in physics. There's a section in physics that studies mirrors. So this is one of the laws you can find there. So it's very, very cool. So anyway, so this mirror, it's called rear view mirror. So I already explained it twice. And there are also the side mirrors, which helps you, like it helps you a lot, especially in Rio de Janeiro. Like you can kill someone. I think it's easier to kill someone here in Rio de Janeiro or countries, maybe third world countries, than it is in other countries, I think, because there are a fuckload of like motorcycles here, you know, like a lot. I mean, all the time you see one all the time. I mean, they deliver pizza using motorcycle. I mean, not only pizza, like everything you can imagine related to food. If like the food like isn't that big, like pizzas, hamburgers, sodas, whatever. I mean, they use motorcycles, and you know, I mean, so many people also like motorcycles. It's cheaper to afford a motorcycle than it is to afford a car. So I mean, there are a bunch of reasons why so many people own motorcycles here, you know, instead of cars. So there are a fuckload of motorcycles like everywhere, like in the Rio de Janeiro traffic, you know. So, and you know, if you hit, I mean, I mean, by just touching a little bit, like the motorcycle, you're gonna make the driver fall. You know, it's so easy to fall from a motorcycle, so you gotta be very careful. So, like, while you're driving, like, if you wanna like change lanes, like you gotta look at the at one of those side mirrors like all the time. I mean, you know, to make sure you're not gonna hit a motorcycle's driver. You gotta make sure not to hit a motorcyclist. Sorry for saying motorcycle driver, whatever. I don't even know. I don't even remember what I was saying. But it's called motorcyclist. Anyway, so changing lanes. What else? Yeah, and you know, before you change lanes, you gotta like turn on the blinkers. I think that's how it's called. So I think you know, I basically said something wrong. Before changing lanes, you gotta, you know, you gotta use your turn signal. You know, I thought it was like blinkers, but I mean, the turn signal blinks, you know, a yellow light. At least that's the color here in Rio de Janeiro. So yeah, so like while you're driving on the road, if you want to change lanes, you gotta use your turn signal. I think that's it. Okay. So yeah, what else? So that glass, like in front of you, that's the windshield. There's also those like those things on top of the, like over the windshield to clean the windshield. It's not called cleaners, it's called something else. Yeah, windshield wiper, that's how it's called. So basically, like the function of a windshield wiper is to, like, whenever it's like raining, you know, to clean the water that's like spoiling, like. So yeah, the objective of the windshield wiper is to basically, you know, one of the mainly reasons is to wipe out, you know, clean the water from the rain that is like obstructing the driver's view, or to basically like clean the windshield. You know, it's like dirty outside, you know, to make it clean, to help like your vision, you know. What else? There's like the trunk, which is on the rear side of the car. There's the gloves box that I kind of like heard and saw like the word and heard, of course. I think for the first time, maybe I don't know, watching Fast and Furious 2. You know, what else? Like there's like the tires, the brakes. What else? There's the hood. There's the engine. Like I mean, and of course a bunch of other things inside the car, like filters, battery, fuel, gas, gasoline. I don't know, so many. So now I'm basically like kind of like teach someone how to drive a manual car. Just to make this podcast flow, since I have nothing to talk about related to cars. I mean, maybe I have, but I do not remember. Okay, so I'm gonna, teach like someone, quote unquote, how to drive a manual car. So basically, you enter the car, you get into the car, and since you're gonna use both of your legs, because when you're driving a automatic car, you just use your right leg, and you just change your right foot position. That's how you drive a manual, automatic car. You just hit the brakes and you hit the gas pedal, brakes, gas pedal. Just change your foot position. But when you're driving manual car, your left leg like gotta hit the clutch pedal all the time. So you gotta make sure your seat is on a good position, a comfortable position, like with your like your legs cannot be like 100% straight. I mean, they have to be like a little bent down a little bit. Yeah, I kind of like said that. I think it's 90% right. Your leg can't be completely straight. It should be like bent a little bit, because that's how. Because that's a good position for the driver, So once you adjust your seat, to make sure your legs are comfortable, like while you're driving. After that, you buckle up, of course, because it's important. Like there are, I think, a bunch of stories, like hundreds, thousands of stories of people. Like everyone dying on a car crash, but only the person who like was wearing like the seat belts like didn't die. So like wearing like the seat belts are so important. Like even if something like gets on your way and you gotta like hit the brakes very fast and hard. So yeah, after adjusting like your seat, you buckle up and you adjust like those 3 mirrors I talked about, the side mirrors and the rear view mirror. The rear view mirror, you gotta like, looking at this rear view mirror, you can see like the windshield, the rear windshield of your car, and you gotta like. So yeah, basically the view you should have in the mirror is of the entire rear window frames. You gotta make sure you're like seeing everything, all the cars behind you, like through this rear windshield, using this rear view mirror. And those side mirrors, you gotta like adjust the mirror like to the point where you can see the lights, like until you see like the rear lights, of course, the left mirror until you see the left light and whatever. So after doing all of those things, what else you gotta do? I think that's it. So once you do all of that, you take the keys and you just start the car, But you gotta make sure the gear shift like is not at one of those numbers. Like you gotta make sure the gear shift it's not on 5 or on 4. So like I was explaining like earlier, you gotta be very careful before starting the car, because it cannot be like in first or third gear. Like it has to be in neutral, before starting the car. So after starting the car, you just hit the clutch pedal and you take the gear shift and you shift to 1. After shifting to 1, you begin to let it go of the clutch pedal very slowly, and after a couple of seconds you're gonna realize that the car is moving like very, very slowly, and after like letting it go of the clutch pedal completely, the car is like moving by itself. And if you hit the gas pedal, if you accelerate a little bit, just a little bit, you gotta like shift to second gear, and after shifting to second gear, you also have to let it go of the pedal, slowly, but not as slow as the first gear, because the car like is not gonna stall like on the second shift gear, sorry. And after accelerating a little bit, you can shift to third gear, and you can let go of the pedal like more like slower, than the 2 and the first gear. And after that, like the 4th and the 5th gear, I mean, you can let it go like very, very fast. I mean, it doesn't matter like how fast or slow you let it go of the clutch pedal. It doesn't really matter. The car is moving so fast. So that's basically how you like drive a manual car. For so many years of my life, I've always thought it was one of the most like one of the hardest and toughest things to do to learn how to drive, because I always let the car stall. Like I had no idea, I had no control over my feet. I mean, to this day, I struggle a little bit. That's why I prefer automatic cars. But it's not that much hard, to learn how to drive manual cars. It's actually very nice, I mean, I know a bunch of people, especially old school friends, that prefer manual cars over automatic cars, because manual cars have this. I mean, whenever you shift, on a manual car, I mean, the car has a momentum, you know, and they like that. You know, automatic cars doesn't have that, you know. Yeah, every time you shift the gears, the car gives a jolt, you know, and they like that. So, what else? So, related to traffic laws, well, there's like the traffic lights, you know, red, yellow, and green. Yellow, it means you cannot go. Yellow means like if you are approaching and you see the yellow light, you basically gotta stop, you know. Or if you are really, really close and it turned yellow, I mean, some people like go anyway, and others stop. And the green means you can go, you know, like with no problem. Like, and you gotta be careful when like you're like not parking your car, when you're like stopping your car. You gotta stop before the cross line, you know, because that's where people are supposed to walk, you know. So you gotta like stop your car before this cross line. So what else? So when anyone is driving, basically you can just turn right, turn left. What else? You can turn right on the fourth, like turn on the fourth right. Yeah, you can just turn on the 5th Street on the right, or turn on the 5th Street on the left, or just go straight. Like you can park your car. You can like park it like backwards or just regularly, or you just can, or if there is like cars one like behind the other, but there's a park spot between two cars, you can just you can parallel parking, you know, which is something that I have never done in my life because I think it's hard, you know, but I think it's a matter of practice, you know. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to talk about. I'm sure I'm gonna have more ideas related to driving. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for everything.